The benefits of assisted suicide. My name is Isabel Grawl, and I am doing this speech to persuade my audience that assisted suicide should be illegal, or should be legal. What if a terminally ill person was struggling to maintain their breathing, or if an elderly person felt pain in doing any movement that correlated with staying alive? How can we ensure that they don't feel pain anymore? People that struggle with the pain of staying alive may turn to assisted suicide. Assisted suicide can be beneficial to those that struggle with the pain of life. I believe that assisted suicide should be legal if used wisely. Assisted suicide can be very beneficial. I will show you how assisted suicide can be helpful in order to help those who struggle with the pain of life. Brittany Maynard was a terminally ill person who struggled with brain cancer. The act of assisted suicide became popular when Brittany decided that she was going to end her life and not wait until the cancer took it. In 2015, 26 state legislators introduced a bill to legalize physician-assisted suicide, with 17 of those states introducing a physician-assisted suicide bill for the first time, according to Chikara. Gaining control of one's life is beneficial to living a great life. Many people need to feel assured that they are in control of their own life. According to Weir, the main reason people voiced wanting the option of assisted suicide was that they wanted to have control over their own lives. People who are on life alert should be able to have the say for when they should die. For example, people who are induced in a coma that are having no response should be able to die with the permission of their own will. People who are on the last stages of death after fighting with a terminal illness should be able to induce assisted suicide with the help of a physician. In 1997, Oregon passed the death penalty with Dignity Act, which legalizes physician-assisted suicide, according to Foreman. Foreman also stated that very many United States citizens argue that the Constitution that protects their liberty and privacy gives them the right to choose assisted suicide. All these points highlighted the need and want of assisted suicide in the United States. Now that we see the problem with assisted suicide, we need to find a solution. Under current law, helping a terminally ill citizen who is suffering unbearable to die at his or her request would be a crime against the 1961 Suicide Act and punishment of 14 years in prison. The only way to prevent such suffering is to change the law to show patients compassion and to practice good rather than harm. We should highlight the compassion and good that comes out of assisted suicide. Assisted suicide is considered good because it would be preventing the pain that many patients suffer from. Passive euthanasia is legal in the United States. In 1976, California became the first state to refuse medical treatments that prolong their lives without improving their well-being, according to Foreman. Patient Self-Determination Act allows patients to refuse medical treatments that delay their inevitable outcome of death. There are two directives promoting assisted suicide. One, a durable power of attorney for healthcare where the patient gives instructions for the end-of-the-life treatment and advocates a person that they trust to carry out their wishes. Two, a living will that regards the end-of-life treatment for patients. These points show that we can enforce the helpful use of assisted suicide. Now that we have the solution to these problems, how can we get involved? In June, Senator David Lehane is fighting for his assisted suicide bill to be passed. He states, "My bill addresses two issues, territory rights and the right to die." He is a firm believer in both aspects and will push for the bill to be passed. People should be able to end their lives painlessly and at their own will. Last November, Victoria became the first state to pass voluntarily assisted dying laws, giving terminally ill Victorians greater choice and control in their final days, according to the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Journal. Australia and New South Wales are also pushing to legalize voluntarily assisted dying laws. Assisted suicide can decrease suicide attempts and is a more dignified way of ending one's lives. If it becomes legal, it can be a painless way of dying without restrictions. Why deny a person a comfortable death when we can provide them a comfortable ending? Philosopher Peter Singer states, "Death may reasonably become our choice when there is no more value to continue life, when we cannot look forward to more life." These points previously stated reflect what we should do in order to make this law illegal. How can we enforce a comfortable ending for people who suffer from terminal illnesses? Assisted suicide can be beneficial for those who struggle with pain and who are going to face death. Control over one's life is something that a person should have. We should fight for the assisted suicide bill to be passed and give people the freedom to choose how they will end their life. We can practice good rather than harm by letting people be able to choose how they are going to be ending their life, and by doing so, we can prevent pain from the disease. Assisted suicide will ensure that the terminally ill person struggling to breathe or an elderly person struggling to move will have a painless death of their own choosing. Assisted suicide be the correct path for a good future. Thank you.